What's that about? What is it? I guess. Okay. I probably won't understand it, so I'll just send it to my L11. It'll teach it to me like I'm 10. So I usually learn like shit. Because now I'll spend half the night looking up dictionaries trying to figure out what I'm trying to learn.
I don't think we'll have copies.
Those fuckers came in the morning about infecting a bunch of nuggets. And to take us in on easy peasy, jumping easy.
Last summer, you can buy 4 terabyte NVMe drive for like $300. Now they're like $1,000. It's insane.
It's like around the holidays, Black Friday. Black Friday.
Yeah. They already went up. I think it's like 15% or 20% price. Because I know I bought an iPhone 17 like a couple of weeks ago, and like 2 days later they announced the prices. I looked at the internet and it was a couple of lease hundreds and all. Same thing.
Accomplish everything. Like, always read that. Unless there isn't. You're in an avatar state. You're channeling the power of all the previous avatars. If you die in that state, the cycle will cease. No
I guess
reincarnation.
somebody else is gonna have to figure out what to use
Then
this
end up with the avatar forever.
They'll probably China. They'll come up with a way
Fall
to
out of
push
balance.
cheap.
Forever.
They'll flood the market with chips and chip prices will crash.
Control it anyway, so I don't lose it.
So usually if I use a giant, it's kind of shit.
If you're a small container, use this sound.
Maybe, but I think that, I don't know for sure about that. That's how a lot of people.
It's a white ride. This is what people always get a bad rap in America. You get beat. That's why all the streets this side of the road, they can't affect all the That's why they use it for the White ride. I feel sorry. You get rid of that. I mean, shit. You feel about that? That's how he's gonna scream about white people, but he can't do that. Highest divorce rates, black women. Highest single motherhood, black women. Highest need for what was it? Water systems for to get support. Black women. So again, black men like you, you're the generation last week. I see a little it's like it's a white guy right behind us. It's 75% of black women will experience some sort of fighting assault. A black man in their life. Damn. That's crazy. That shit. In the United States, in the who sits there and talks about kids on stage. Fucking comments and like Carpe and why do you think these people want to talk about little white kids? And they want to talk about little kids, little girls who want to rape your rooms, who want to rape kids, who want to kill black men, who want to do all of that stuff. White man wants to do that shit. I mean, from what I'm says to me, oh my god, we're going to talk about the Bible, we're going to talk about the fucking this or that. These guys always want to talk about raping kids. I mean, shit, they always bring up the kids. These guys just literally like to eat women, eat all that shit, and then they cry that there's a revolution. Then they ask for reparations. I think they are.
Did the white man tell you in the Bible to take the little ones for yourself? Is that why you did it? You took a literal, like it, you started raping the little boys and girls. Someone told you to fuck it. Your journey was on that. We follow Marshall, you follow the fucking pedophile God. It takes the little ones for yourself. Marshall, you're white. You know you're fucking old.
You know what? I don't mind what we know. These are the great people like this. I don't mind. I'll fight back in a field. I think they should go back to taking now. I think that, we should just basically sell them on auction blocks at this point. I mean, guys like this. This guy really likes to talk about kids. I mean, shit. I thought that Daniel and Raphael let this guy go off. I mean, fuck. Yeah.
Daniel blocked Tori out of the room, or Robbie. Robbie blocked Tori out of the scam party. Why? Because they're fucking doing I'll give you $30,000. Hit me up in the fucking DMs, blah, blah.
I'm just so confused. Why do you guys bring these people up there? Like, these guys who come up there have nothing grounded in facts. Well, then why do you listen to Ray say?
Oh, because I was calling him a fucking chumma.
It's illegal where he belongs.
And I was asking him, he can answer why his nonsense that we're babysitting. That was it.
And as far as Republicans fixing America, I would say yes. The answer is very simply. We're controlling immigration. We're following through the former deporter-in-chief, which was Obama, which apparently in a prior room, they couldn't figure that one out. Who, like, massively utilized ICE, had more IRS than Trump could ever do in his first term. Like, Trump's not even capable of reaching his numbers right now. Like, it's just fucking mathematically impossible. Secondly, I think the addressing of the fact that every time someone gets in their feelings about something they don't like or gets squishy, that it doesn't lead to facts and that you actually have to acknowledge simple things. But, I mean, shit, what the hell do I know? I mean, we just got too many people who worry about their feelings, and then you allow too many of these, like, quote, Hebrew Israelite wannabes come on stages, these orangutans, these North American Davids, go up there and say, fucking, I want to suck little girls off. I think a 9-year-old should be allowed to do wifely duties as long as she's got her period at fucking 9. Like, I mean, it's not like this guy doesn't say that shit in every room he goes into. It's not like we're not talking about the same fucking guy who goes on air resistance, who literally calls for a genocide of all people based on the fact that they may be connected to Israel, and then somehow believes he's the correct Jew, but somehow wants to replace it. He's not even Muslim. He doesn't exist. He's just some guy who got out of prison who was one broken in showers.
Not Muslim. That's the word.
And this guy wouldn't even stand a chance. He's never stood for anything. He's not the community.
It's often that noise. It's often that yes.
And I mean, and then, he goes, don't bring him up. Like, dude, no. Like, he doesn't deserve a voice.
He deserves to speak his piece.
You can vote on yours.
I didn't get yours.
They hate it.
He can make his own room and see if he gets people to go into it. Like, I hate these guys that come up on here. It's somewhat like similar to like a children's room. Like, they're gonna be this performative guy and then they're gonna live there. But this is the same guy that's like, you know what, you're a faggot and all this stuff, and then want to kill gay people for being gay, but yeah, he's gonna be applauded by the quote Democratic Black community for this. Like, that's just a whole bunch of like hypocrisy on it. Just because of his skin color, he thinks he gets a pass to be able to do that, when in reality, he would be shot and buried into the ground. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, I wouldn't mind if I saw Resistance getting Daniel Penny. Like, I'm gonna go, yeah, not guilty. I wouldn't even watch the fucking video. I'd just be like, not guilty. Don't even need a court. I'd be okay with it. There's certain pieces of shit in this world that, regardless of skin color, there's just pieces of shit. No, I wouldn't say that. I just say there's pieces of shit.
That's what it's in.
No, I wouldn't think it either. I just think pieces of shit need to go. I mean, fuck, I went toe-to-toe with conservative atheists. This type would have been fucking in there cheering that fucker on while they were screaming about how 14-year-olds are okay addicted to sex.
Rafi's best friend was here yesterday at JB and we had a crash out.
I'll give you my stance on JB. He finished his time, he finished his round.
You're doing the same thing?
No, it's not that. I just hold the justice system. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. And as long as he's not breaking any laws now, I can't hold that
What
man.
if we rape your daughters?
Okay, why are you introducing things that aren't that? Why are you introducing things that aren't that?
Allowing it, you're allowing it. And you can say the same thing to me. You can be like, hey, what if he did it to your daughter? I would say that he needs to be taken out back and fucking shot. And you would agree. And you would agree if he did it to your daughter. But because of somebody else's daughter, you're like, well, he served his time.
No, it's not because of that. Because you're not listening to me. No, you're trying to overtalk and introduce a scenario that's not actually accurate. What I would do is if it was my daughter, I'd kill her.
Yeah.
I'd flat out kill her. There wouldn't be a thing. I'd go to prison. Okay, so that ends that argument there.
Yeah, I know.
What I would say is that there is a law. He served his time, and he did it. Not every man is like me. I doubt you would do it. I doubt many men.
I put a bullet in the back of his head, and I chop him in 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, I would just do the bullets. But at the end of the day, there's what each person has to do on their own accord. And as for what I would do personally, it's different from, hey, this man has been convicted, he served his time, and he's done.
I promise I'll leave this alone after this. But if the person is on 4 or 5 modeling agencies, has always been his MO, his cover, or going illegal sex trafficking, prostituting, and then the person gets out of prison and starts a new modeling agency in Florida a year and a half ago, do you think the person's still a fucker here?
Have you proven that he's done the same crime?
He's been arrested like 5 times, convicted once for it. He ended up taking a plea deal with the charge. And then now he gets out of prison and he starts up a fucking modeling agency in Florida.
Okay.
And he's on like 5 of them, and all 5 of them have been sex trafficking in the past. But they didn't have enough to convict them on each one until they got to the last one where they had enough money.
Excuse me, but I thought this country was so...
Brutally raped 2 girls against their will in a hotel room. And then kept their as captives and forced them to perform sex with up to 60 men.
I got it. So why don't you have this discussion in a room? Aren't you in a room and have that? Because I don't really want to get into this, but you wanted to bring this on. So I will say this. No, I'm not going to answer your fucking question. So all I'm going to say is, it's the same way I feel about people who fucking take on and fucking go Richard. How do you feel about guys that scam fucking unemployment all the time? How do you feel about guys that fucking scam out and take money and then don't go get a job and try to live on that? So I mean, again, how do you do that? How do you get fired from a job and then cry about systemic oppression and then collect unemployment. How do you feel about that? I mean, so again, I can kind of say that there's a lot of what entitled to. Why should we do that? Why should we handle that? Wait, why aren't you answering that? What do you think about people who exploit, particularly white people who exploit social safety? Not my best friend. What I am saying, oh no, I think you want to swallow JB's dick. Guys, shut the fuck up. Seriously, what? So, I'm going to say this to the people in the back here so they understand. If a man has service time, if a man has, can you move him down, then you're good, because okay, I was just trying to ask something clarification. I don't give a fuck. So, okay, right. So just, like, again, this is what urgent so, again, when we look at this and a man's convicted for crimes, serves his time, and he does the prison sentence, he fills the probation, and he's clear, and he gets a free slate. I actually believe in that, but I thought we as conservatives believed in a system of justice. We believed in an action that took place that says, hey, we want to make sure that people have a chance to re-enter society from crimes. Now, I don't have to like his crime. I don't have to say I belong in there. But I can say that the man has paid his debt to society, deemed by the very people that were sent to judge him. Whether he took a plea deal or not, those people were either elected in office or appointed by those that were elected, and he has fulfilled his obligation. Who am I, in any aspect of the world, to sit there and say, hey, set aside your principles and go ahead and just continue to prosecute somebody? I know, but everybody's set for sex offenders. Rapists, child molesters. So I don't think, you know what? I think you can, and I would also do the same thing for murderers. Murderers and rapists and child molesters should all be fucking shot. They should never be fucking forgiven. You guys go to dinner, so you guys have fun. There's clearly everybody.
Yeah. If you did it to one of your female family members, she'd kill them.
That's not usual.
Yeah.
I would also go.
Yeah, but if he does it to Rafi's kid or fucking Daniel's kid, you're like, well, this served its up.
I would go to prison. I would accept my fate, but that's the difference between you. But I'm gonna go eat Rafi. You have a great one. Like,
You're such fucking hypocrites. Go to sleep. Let Daniel run around. Daniel's here.
Daniel's not here.
Yeah, he is. Daniel's right here. Yeah, he said that Daniel's right here. Sit, brother. Yeah, he's just sitting in his yeah, he said he's flying around. Fuck you, resistance.
The other guys have been open about it, sure.
No, you're not. You're going to sleep, lying bitch. No, you're not. Shut it. Norman's here. Resistance here. You want the rational? I got it. Resistance.
Time flies on me. Yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze.
Right, like get some crumbs and yeah.
not to do, but they actually are the right thing to do. It's a very good lesson.
I love that part where Krishna explains to him that action evaporates fear, and freezing increases the fear. And he's like, look, just give me complete control over these five forces, your five senses, and dwell only on me, and let me worry about it. It's a great story.
Yeah, it really is.
So Brahman is an abstract term all encompassing reality, not a personal God.
Yes, Brahman is existence itself.
So it's not really a God then, it's just kind of like,
It was that guy that was in here earlier, JC.
it's all about being, man. But all about, did you catch what he said? As is above, as is below. Where'd you get that from?
That's like me. Sorry, go ahead, honey. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was it? I was just finding out what her God was. But you don't really, it's not really a God then, right? It's just like all these things around us.
Yeah, it's not a classical, not the God of classical theism.
Okay. So what is a God? Like, how do you define it? What is a God if, is it just how it's defined by this classification structure? Is that what a God is?
Well, I mean, in what I practice, Brahman is just definitionally existence itself. Also consciousness, or I would say awareness is another description, and also in my practice, the source of a completeness.
It says Brahman is a genderless, infinite, and formless concept representing the ultimate reality. It is the source, sustainer, and essence of everything in the universe, transcending time, space, and human comprehension. So, yeah,
Wow.
it seems like,
Dude.
I agree. It's supposed to be the thing.
It's literally a reification of everything that humans on Earth. Right?
What up, Steve-O?
Hey, everybody. Happy hump day.
Hump day?
So, did you, figure out, why fourth rows, keep saying, every time?
Right.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying right.
Yes, it's because it's a space filler.
Like, what do you mean, bro?
I mean, not just Phil Bros use that. A lot of people, when they're thinking about what word they want to say next, they may utter right or like or
Yes, I had to spend a lot of time, literally hours, getting rid of my ums. I had a huge problem 4 years ago. Took a lot of practice for me to get rid of.
Did you attend Toastmasters?
No, I didn't. And in fact, I still have a little bit of the ums left in me, but I'm considerably better than I was 5 years ago. Believe me.
what is young?
And Toastmasters changed how I speak entirely. It was a great experience. Because I was in the same category. I used to, write and because I grew up in California.
Yeah, I do it because of growing up in the 80s. It's Valley Girl thing.
Exactly, yeah.
And since my last name is pronounced Appel, I better learn how to not pop my pee.
I don't know what to do. Pop that pee in my shirt.
I always told you when you pop your pee, you get scars. You gotta be careful with that.
Steve, have you heard any people describe like a good reason to be a deist?
Absolutely. John Malincrot has claimed to be a deist for years.
No. He's saying he is accepting that as a god that could exist, but just is not intervening. He's not calling himself a deist.
I stand corrected. Yes. John Malincrot does not think it's unreasonable to be a deist in that God, or however you define God, created the universe way back then, but then does not intervene after that time, especially now. Yeah, he does not find that unreasonable, but he does not consider himself a deist.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, I mean, you could say that, but I don't see how you would distinguish it from nothing at all or anything else. Because, like, even hearing people's definitions for it and stuff, I'm just like, I don't even get why it's even, like, what are you actually talking about, you know?
It's called books,
That's just
dumbass.
my opinion.
It's called a fucking book, you fucking idiot!
Same way about being a
Oh yeah, when people are talking about philosophy of God and technical shit, they're talking about books that they read, you fucking rat bastard. Another good one, honey.
Well, I mean,
Great question for the second half of the conversation.
With like philosophy broism, right? Like it's something that you would use within a philosophical structure that doesn't really pertain to reality.
Oh.
If you're talking about science is shut up and calculate, right? And things are revealed by process of elimination or experimentation. But in philosophy, right, you could have Platonic numbers that exist in some sort of meta realm that is actually real. And to me, that's all just sort of masturbation.
I don't understand how any philosopher can be an atheist. I would think by definition all philosophers have to be agnostic, because there's always a possibility that God does exist. I don't understand how any philosopher could eliminate the possibility that God exists. That makes no sense.
That's not what atheists do, Steve. They don't believe in a God.
If they ignore science, then yeah, philosophers can believe that there's a teapot, in orbit of Jupiter.
Why do you have to ignore science? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because if you go by what's evident, like what the evidence shows, it highly leans towards there is no supernatural realm, there are no deities.
Really? Can you give me one example?
Evolution. Right? Evolution is very much counter to the beliefs of most, if not all, religions.
Well, we're not talking about religion. We're talking about the existence of God. And if I could finish very quickly, I will be short. Evolution says nothing whatsoever about God.
You're right that it says nothing about God, because God doesn't even come into the picture with evolution. It's a natural processes that happens over big time.
So why would you use evolution as your first example?
Hey, if you're going to start interrupting me, I'm going to start interrupting you. And then we're going to get into that classic game of who can interrupt who more. Is that what you want, Steve? Thank you. Why would I bring it up? Because it's positive evidence of natural processes without the supernatural realm. And you're right that it doesn't specifically address God the way that quantum physics and physics in general doesn't specifically address God. But it shines a light in a direction that more or less eliminates a lot of things that we would call supernatural. And it eliminates a lot of the realm that we would give to God.
So the logical fallacy that I would immediately point out that you made there, Steve, is begging the question where you assumed the idea of God in your question, when in fact that is the question in philosophy to be asked. What is God?
I didn't assume the existence of God. That's not true.
No, you did when you said that there's still a possibility that it could exist. In that, you assumed that it had a definition, right? You assumed that it was something like an all-powerful deity or something like that, or something you would find in the Bible or some other like scriptural text, as opposed to a different assumption that gods are fictional characters. These are equally assumptions that you might put on the table, but your question presumed one of those definitions and not the other definition.
Yeah, Steve, just to be clear, that's why I tried to butt in and interrupt you, is because I was asking for a definition of God.
What, Badger?
Well, actually, you were talking about the definition of God before I spoke, but
Right.
that's okay.
Because you were presuming a God already, and I was trying to get you to define what you mean.
Nah, see.
No, you were talking. Well, okay, we'll move on. Any discussion?
Yeah, but
any
Steve
discussion?
believes in a different God. This is like a progressive, liberal, rabbinic God. It's not really like it's scripture.
Okay, you don't know what you're talking about.
I know you, Steven.
Well, if you know,
I know you're an atheist, but you still like adhere to like cultural aspects of it. You're like, I'm a Jew. Stop calling yourself a Jew.
Well, if you're going to keep interrupting me,
I said go ahead, Steven. I'm trying to help you.
Oh my God.
Badger, King Kong is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead.
I don't think Steve needs any help. He seems to be.
Hans, did you like the Royvis photos, Hans?
Dude, I think those photos creep me the fuck out.
That's Royvis.
Hey,
he put when you search him on YouTube on Google, all you have to type in is Royvis Grammy nominated artist. And he literally put it under there because he brags about being Grammy nominated all the time. So
No,
stupid.
I just typed in Royvis music and it came up as Instagram and his.
But if you search Royvis Grammy nominated, it'll come up, and he always is such a braggart about being Grammy nominated. And there's bound to be a limited amount of Royvises who go by the name Royvis on social audio and social media, who call themselves Royvis that are Grammy nominated and are artists.
Oh, I did not know that. So the pictures that I found are not Royvis.
No, it's Royvis. That's him. Yeah.
Dude, he looks creepy. I would never let him. I would
Why
never
do you
let him
think it's
babysit
Royvis?
my kids.
Yeah, Royvis said that he was gonna fuck my 5-year-old autistic son, Patrick.
Oh.
He did it. Okay, hold on. He did it when he was drunk. Then he woke up the next morning, came back in chillism, and then we all questioned him if he really meant that, or he was gonna like. We figured, okay, well, he's gonna apologize because he was blackout drunk, and he came back in and said, "No, I'm sober now, and 100% I want to fuck your autistic son in the ass."
Well, I'll
He
tell you
also
what,
said he wanted to
there's a
fuck my
great
other 2 kids, but he really focused on my son.
There's a great picture of him. I think it's on his Instagram where he's got his typical dinner, which is.
I mean, it's not my fault. You guys are all friends with Jack Angstreit and Royvis both.
Can we not talk about people who aren't here?
Jack Angstreit? You really? Wait, JC, you really got upset.
I am not
I
friends
brought
with,
up
just
Jack
to be
Angstreit.
clear, just to be clear, I am not friends with Royvis.
No, JCC's friends with Jack Angstreit.
No, I'm not.
Anytime somebody brings it up,
No, I'm not.
he gets really mad.
I didn't get
Because
mad.
Tom Rabbit, like,
Stop talking
walks
for a
around,
Holy
makes
shit,
JCC
thanks. So, no,
hold
kick
his
this
pocket.
fuck hard. I didn't get mad.
You did.
I was asking nice. And not to talk about someone. Fuck you. You're on my list, bitch.
I've always
Thanks.
This is Rich. I've never been in a room that
There you go, Rich.
This is 3
Block list.
PCC.
Block list, Rich.
Yeah.
Block list. Yeah, thank you. Get the fuck out of here, dick.
+1.
Fuck you. Fucktards. Just because someone asked, don't talk about people who aren't here, doesn't mean they're mad or they're friends with somebody. I don't like Jack Gangstrike. Fuck.
Well, we weren't really talking about him.
Well, yes, sure. And I was also referring to the other person you're talking about. They're not here. That's not cool. I don't like that other person either.
Okay, I appreciate that, James, because you really always mind your manners when talking to everyone, and you're never rude to anyone, so
What are you doing? Why are you virtue signaling now, bitch?
I stand corrected.
Fuck you, Hans.
I
fuck
stand
you, Hans.
corrected.
Fuck you, Hans.
James, thank you.
Fuck you, Hans.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you're on my list now, too.
Classic incel.
Fuck you.
And Romero, when we're in another room, I'll be happy to continue the conversation with you, and I apologize for interrupting you all. We can continue it another time.
Sure, buddy.
Well, now's a good time to talk about it. The room's smaller. We got rid of the dipshits.
Are the dipshits gone?
Well, they're not on stage.
Well, I don't know. You know the dipshits better than I do. So
They're all on my block.
now that the dipshits are gone,
Yeah.
so I always understood philosophy to be what is possible. And I've always said that I think God is possible, however slight. This is why I said earlier that I don't understand how you can be a
Can you
philosopher.
define God?
Well, I have my definition, which most people don't disagree with.
That's the
What
part
is it?
being presumed, right?
I'm sorry?
That's the part being presumed in your question. That's the best thing.
Exactly what is being presumed? Exactly what?
Your definition.
Attribute anything about a god in any way that you can say that you can claim to know. If you don't know any attribute about God, the most you can appeal to is like deism.
Yeah, but let's try it my way. I'm going to define God as a fictional character. Therefore, the question is answered. Is it possible that God exists? No. It's not possible that fictional characters exist. They're fictional by definition. If they existed, they wouldn't be fictional.
All right, now let's try my definition, which is clearly different than yours, because I think you can accurately define fictional characters. For example, we can accurately define the Tooth Fairy. We can accurately define Santa Claus. Therefore, with all disrespect, sorry about that, Freudian slip. Okay, it looks like we'll wait and go.
I think we can correctly define God. It's a fictional character as envisioned by many cultures and categorized by having all these powerful attributes. Right? They're usually like logical maxims of attributes that we see in the world. Right? You just take creation, and then you shove that dial all the way to its maximum extreme of create everything, and now you've got your definition of God that most people would glom onto. And I just think those are all fictional characters. We can correctly define God that way.
Yeah, the problem with that, the problem with that, T, is you could use that definition to describe Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, can't you?
Are Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy real?
I didn't hear what you said, T. I'm sorry.
They're in the same category, so there's no problem there.
Yeah,
Well, the problem is that the definition could apply to Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. So when I'm looking for a definition for God, I'm looking for one that cannot be applied to Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy.
Are Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy real?
You know, I don't understand.
Are Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy real?
Humans getting gangbangs.
But that's like saying that I'm looking for a definition of Santa Claus, where Santa Claus is real. Or I'm looking for a definition of the Tooth Fairy, where the Tooth Fairy is real.
You know, I don't mind getting gangbanged as long as first somebody asks for permission and number importantly I get.
JCC, 5 words, square root of -1.
Is defined as the square root of -1.
Oh, JCC harped on it for 6 hours one night.
I've never harped on the square
You
root
did.
negative. No.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, keep saying things that are incorrect.
You did too. You kept
Okay,
saying,
there you go.
look it up, look it up.
You're a member of the club. You're a member of the club. Thanks, Mohammed.
Oh, God. You sound like CM that night.
Wait, is this the same guy that was just here earlier?
Mark, I have 100,000 accounts and an entire website dedicated.
Oh, it's Rich.
I'm like, what?
Of course it.
Fucking Rich. Goddamn.
Why are you
As
guys?
I said, is this the same guy that was before? And I was like, all right, I kicked him out.
I don't get it. But Steve, do you see the problem? Like I still haven't heard a definition of God. Like, what's God?
Well, did the other interrupters leave or what?
Well, just what's your definition of God? Can you just define it really fast?
Yeah, I can, but I don't like constantly being interrupted by dickheads.
Those darn interrupters.
There's going to be interruptions, Steve. So, as far as
Fine, and then I'll give my quick definition of God. Unidentifiable higher power.
Cool.
Okay?
So
So
philosophers.
meaningless. Like it means nothing.
Yeah.
It's a deistic god, a deistic thing, whatever. Deism.
Yep.
It's something that you can't really say that you know anything about. And if you can't really know anything about it, Steve, you can't really argue for or against it, really.
Yeah, so the reason why philosophers are atheists is because they have a rejection of the belief in a God exists, right? And they carefully examine the arguments given by those who believe in God and find them unsupported. That's why they're atheists. Most philosophers rely on naturalism. So it's not that they reject the existence of God, they reject the belief in God. They don't have a belief in the God.
It's more or less like, somebody comes up to you and says like, hey, I propose to you how to build a house. And you go, all right, let me hear it. I'm open to the possibility, like Steve says, I'm open to the possibility of them making, of them showing me that they're going to build a house. And then they open up their briefcase and it's full of frogs. And it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really add up to anything.
They're probably not very good at building houses. Steve was actually provided a definition.
Yeah, and then we're left with, we're left with a thing that doesn't really allow us to even conclude that thing could even possibly be true. So you can't even say that it could be possibly true because it's like not even addressing the question. You know?
I think we can be a little bit more precise here, right? Steve was asked to provide a definition. He did. I appreciate that, Steve. Definitions are accepted or refused on their utility, right? So the reason that I would reject that definition on its utility is the entire endeavor of providing definitions for words is to capture the necessary properties that contrast it with everything else, right? It's to say, that an apple is, a fruit, grows on trees, right? That's a necessary property of an apple. We're not talking about something that grows on trees. We're not talking about an apple. And then when you go and give a definition and you say it's undefinable, what that is that's giving up on the endeavor of providing a definition. And so for that reason, I wouldn't accept that definition.
No problem, brother.
Have you found it, Seeker?
Yeah, I found it. 72% of the philosophers are actually believers. They are not atheists.
72%?
They believe in something, they're not atheists, basically.
Wait. Whoa. Yeah,
I think he said 22, not 72.
So an atheist doesn't mean you don't believe in anything, right? Like, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in the existence of a god or gods. That doesn't mean I don't believe in other things. I believe in many things that align with reality. So many philosophers do that as well. Many atheist philosophers rely on naturalism, such as myself. So when you say they believe in something, yeah, I agree. But an atheist is specifically not believing in a God of gods.
Can you say the statistic again, please?
West academic philosophers found that 72 do not lean toward or accept atheism.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is 72% of philosophers are not atheists. All right, thank you.
That doesn't mean they're theists, right, Seeker?
I didn't say it meant that.
No, I
No one
said
did.
Seeker. I said
Yeah.
Seeker. I said Seeker, Steve.
I didn't hear you say seeker, JCC.
Because you didn't let me finish. It's okay.
Well, seeker would have been the first word, so, but whatever.
No,
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, JCC, the best way to get an idea about this is if you go to the latest Philtalk survey,
Right.
the Phil paper survey. So that's like the academicians that are in the field, and they do surveys. And the latest one taken was 2020. And in 2020, 18.9% lean towards theism, 67% accept or lean towards atheism, 7.2 are agnostic or undecided, and 7% have other or alternative views. That's the more accurate way to get an idea of what philosophers think.
But that's not what he said. That's totally opposite of what he said.
I agree with you.
Yeah, he got
it backwards. That's what I was trying to use.
And what's more is that according to the study, the number is dropping, right? It used to be back in 2019, or excuse me, 2009.
29.
Yeah, 2009, 72%, and in 2020 it was 66%.
Yeah.
So the number is going down, right?
Right. I can look at the paper that was just mentioned, 2020 survey, 1,770 philosophers worldwide, and I think that's correct. They lean towards atheism, 66.9%.
Yeah.
And about theism, 18.9% lean towards theism.
Yeah.
And then we have agnostic, which is around 14.2%.
Yeah, which doesn't
Or
tell
other,
us anything.
right?
Which basically means they're an atheist.
They could be agnostic, not agnostic.
And atheist is everybody's atheist.
Well, I mean, if you're agnostic, what information have I been provided with?
Right. So agnostic is quite blurry, right? But we can say 18.9%.
Right. And I bet you, I'd be willing to bet money that if you ask those people who claim to be agnostic if they currently believe in a God, they would say, no, I do not currently believe in a God.
Well, I trust the survey. You know, there's a reason they are called agnostic.
But as you know, I'm just saying, like, studies are not flawless.
Well, then we can just call the whole study.
Let's just be honest about it, dude. 100% of people on the planet are really atheists. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, everybody is.
Is an atheist. I mean, when you're born, absolutely. I mean, you can't even speak or think. Then if all the babies are born atheists, probably. But once you grow into, language and knowledge, then that's when people choose, and a part chooses atheism, another one chooses, theism.
You think they choose?
I believe at some point it's a conscious thing, right? It's not something that you just follow.
What's a conscious thing?
He said the ability to choose.
Choose what? What are you choosing, Seeker?
What I'm choosing.
He didn't say.
Well, so I'm asking.
Between theism and atheism.
Yeah, how do you choose a belief, Seeker?
That doesn't make sense.
That's a good question. Definitely not just relying on the physical proof in this reality. I'm not doing that. So I have more of an optimistic view on what is out there, and I don't need proof of it. I have certain experiences of myself, which I do believe. And
That was a key term right there.
Yeah, so you said
You
you
said
had
more
an experience.
optimistic.
Yeah, you said you had an experience.
He just.
You're breaking up.
who's breaking up? Am I breaking?
I think Tim is. Go ahead, Tim. Say it again.
Go ahead.
Tim, what are you trying to say?
And Seeker, mute up when you're not talking.
I just think maybe Seeker is using like he's speaking about something different. It's like maybe you're talking about two different things about the choice, right? Like because it seems like we use choice in a way like to say like like what do you feel like having tonight? Well, I think I'm going to choose chocolate ice cream over vanilla, and that's some choice you've made, right? But like propositions, like is like the that much value, like what words are you like, or what do you accept to be true or false? Those don't seem to be like rooted in choice so much once they're in your brain, right? Because once they're in your brain, you can't like not choose. Like you can't. If you love your mom, you can't just today to go, I just choose not to love my mom today and just stop loving her. That would be really difficult, right? Like I don't see a path forward for that.
Well, then we'll have to agree that love is a constant, or is it, situation based?
Well, like for instance, like this, like if this is gonna sound gross, but like presumably you don't like the smell of human feces, right? You don't like that, right? That's something you don't, and you couldn't choose to like it today and just go, I decided I like it today and now I love it. I'm just can't get enough of it, right? Presumably, there's nothing you can do to make yourself not change your mind about the smell of feces, right? Because you can't choose to not like it. You can't choose to like it even though you don't.
Actually, more people than you know of like the smell of their own farts.
Well,
That's
whatever.
a fact. That's
I'm
a
just
fact.
saying that's whatever. But I'm saying other people's. Like if you walk into like a bathroom.
No, other people's. No, most people
Yeah.
hate the smell of other people's farts.
Did you leave already?
I think he just left.
By the way, T, good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well with all your AI program. I hope you're crushing it, man.
I'm doing real well. I mean, if you watch my GitHub, I'm some sort of machine. But
I love it, man.
did actually have sort of a breakthrough moment with a project.
Nice.
I don't want to kill the room, but we should talk about it sometime.
Yeah, let's do that sometime. I would love to.
It's because I'm gonna say something, and I shouldn't be able to say it. I solved supply chain attacks.
Wow, nice.
That nobody should be able to say that, right? Nobody should say. No adult should speak those words, right? And all I.
Very cool. I hope it brings you lots of joy and also lots of money in here. You get a bunch of bags for that.
Yeah, my next destination is PyCon to talk about it.
What's up, honey? What's up, Mark? Good to see you all.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Well, freaking hot, dude. It's hot here.
I heard it's
Crazy.
like 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's out of control.
Well, it was 100 degrees in like Northmore Valley, like LA Valley area, I guess, So I don't know what it's like down there. Probably like 5 to 10 degrees cooler, maybe.
Yeah, it's still been hot, like even closer to, it's still, I mean, it was a little bit cooler at the beach today. Beach is always cooler because it's not like Santa Ana conditions, but it's definitely, if you're inland, like where you went to high school, it's 100 degrees, easy. It's been like super muggy this week too. It kind of finally unmugged up, but we're getting like a lot of like moist air, which is not super common in SoCal,
Nice, dude. So is it like? So wait, what's the weather like where you are?
It's like blue skies, like not a cloud in the sky and hot, right? Like almost like kind of like mild Vegas weather.
But earlier this week, like on Monday, it was like really muggy, like the humidity index was up high.
Kind of gray.
Yeah, more like where you live. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too humid here, dude. It's usually pretty dry. So what's been on the stages? Has there been anything fun or like interesting?
I saw Jack Angstrak yesterday. Frenchie had a room going, and Jack joined. I was like, I haven't seen Jack on Clubhouse in like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's because Discord's slowing down.
Yeah, nobody's doing Discord. I saw Discord, I saw Diehead, I saw, of course, JJ.
Godless.
Well, yeah, Godless. She's been annoying.
Mo.
Yeah, Moto. Well, John's been back for a while. Of course, Tom Rabbit's been back.
James is tired.
Yeah, James is now kind of an atheist. I don't know if you guys know that.
Well, he's not saying an atheist.
But he's just really not into Christianity anymore.
Or even like saying positively believing in God. He said he wants to believe in God. So it's kind of interesting.
At least it seems like he's being honest.
Yeah.
James and I have been friends for about 8 years now. And I very well remember I think it was probably about 4 years ago, James made the conversion to Christianity. And my words at the time were, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And this is the other shoe dropping.
There you go.
He's a little rough in the rooms though, because he always wants to steer the topics to him and his feelings, how people are treating him. So no matter what we talk about, and if he's in a room, it always gets back to Andrew. You're just, he wants to talk about specifically some like personal issue he's got going on with somebody, and he just ruins it.
Yeah, it's interesting witnessing him take this position of superiority because he's not a believer anymore. It's really freaking fascinating to me.
Well, you guys witnessed this transition from unbeliever to non-believer.
Yeah, if you're on these clubhouse apps for long enough, you're gonna meet people who were atheists and are now Muslim. You're gonna meet Muslims that are now atheists. You meet Christians that are now Muslims. You meet Muslims that are Christians. You're gonna meet everything. So people can't change their positions. They do.
Right.
Like Ethan Muse,
Yeah, Ethan was like a little bratty atheist. He used to come in and kind of snark on theists, and now he's like a full-blown Catholic, going on pints with Aquinas, doing national debates, doing all sorts of stuff.
An albedo.
Albedo, yeah.
Who else? Anybody else?
I can't remember. Is Seeker a theist, or is Seeker just kind of like one of those?
Confused guy.
What are you? What were you saying?
Confused guy. That's what you didn't say. No.
Yeah, well, I don't get the idea that you're like a super theist, but I also don't get the idea that you're an atheist either.
No, I'm somewhere in the middle, Tim. To be honest, I'm very science based for sure, but I also believe, but I don't necessarily follow a religion per se. I don't believe in following religion.
See, that's the part, because after that, what else are we even talking about, right? Like, I could say the same thing and go, I don't really follow religion, and instead of just saying I'm an atheist for practical reasons, or, just speaking about it, instead of saying that, I could just go, but, I dabble, I'm still kind of on the fence about God, and then I've still told you nothing, because I could conceive of something. I could conceive of an energy or a force that I want to believe in, and we can all do that. So we can all do it. I think we can all think of something cool about the universe. It's mysterious and powerful to us. And I don't know. Is that God? I don't know.
Yeah, but that's I understand that, honey, totally, right? whether that's God or not, right? And in my opinion, God is just a word. We can just call it energy or the cause or whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. And maybe it doesn't have those attributes that the religion actually says it does. Maybe it's not even a conscious thing, right? It could be.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what I mean.
right.
I'm open, and I would never know what you mean, right? Like if you said, "Yeah, well, I have a God concept," and I'm all, "Cool, dude." You think I'm gonna be able to know what the fuck you're talking about ever?
No way.
Right.
Right.
If you guys get any extra time this week, go on to Monkey Boy's channel. One of the best videos I've heard in a long time. Mason and Josh and a couple other guys somehow were able to talk to Darth Dawkins for like an hour, and they pretended that they were like theists, and they were trying to ask him like, how do we defeat these people that they were trying to tell him we love tag, we love the tag argument, but like what do we do? And Darth talks to him for like an hour.
That is the ultimate troll.
Has no idea that they're trolling him the whole time. Darth straight up admits that tag is based on circularity. That it's circular, and he keeps trying to say it's circular, but it's okay because, and then Mason would say, okay, well I get that, that's totally, I agree with that, because he's saying it's a circular something, I can't remember what he says, but then, and then Mason keeps saying, well let's just suppose for a moment that we have like somebody who's honest, because we agree that the atheists, they're totally dishonest. And he's like, yeah, they're scumbags, they're atheists, they're dishonest. He goes, but you do agree that it could be somebody who's honest, right? And Darth's like, yeah, that's possible. And he goes, okay, so what if they just, because we always just tell them, when they say, do you have an argument for, that? And they always say, well, due to the impossibility of the contrary. And he goes, well, what if the atheist says that, their position is due to the impossibility of the contrary, and then they'll just invoke circularity like we do, and Darth never has an answer for it. He just keeps saying, well, it just means they're trolls, they're dishonest.
He says circular reasoning and a circular argument are different.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. That was what he said. Circular reasoning and circular argument. He says, I'm not giving a circular argument, I'm giving circular reasoning. And he says, circular reasoning's perfectly fine, but he always gives away the bag, because he admits that if somebody else uses circular reasoning to come to their conclusion, then that's not okay. Total special pleading the whole entire time. It's so great. And and Josh is chiming in and going, yeah, they're sophists. Those guys are just sophists. It's so good. I hope you all listen to it. You're gonna love it.
There's just not enough Nathan Fillion ships in the world to cope,
Didn't some of the other theists say that they were trolling and Darth fell for it anyway?
Maybe, but it was really bad. It was really funny. I mean, I don't know I didn't watch to the very, very end, so he may have figured out at the end. So I'm sure people were jumping in, but they were being nice to him, and they just kept like buttering him just up constantly. Yeah. And I study Van Til and Bonson, and they said, well, what about the Tang? The transcendental argument for not God. And he's like, no, the guy who laid this up, this something Martin guy, Brad Martin or Doug Martin or something, he got destroyed by Bonson. Bonson destroyed that a long time ago. It was so good. And then he keeps talking about, his whole thing is about, well, what's the old provides for the ultimate? The ultimate. And if you don't have that, then you can't have any intelligibility. It's like, but that's just repeating the claim, right? If the claim is, without an ultimate authority, you can't have intelligibility, and then you say, okay, well, what's the argument for that? And they say, due to the impossibility of the contrary, we're just running off in a circle. How are you feeling, Bert? What's wrong with you, big bud?
Hello?
What's going on with you, bro? Hi, bro.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
Yo, bro, what do you know, bro?
I know everything about everything. Remember what Katy Perry said in her song? I forgot what it's called, but it said something like, "Cause I know everything and anything." You get the point?
That doesn't make sense.
Good job.
Good job, bro. Good job.
Are there any Christians here that I can talk to?
Is there any Christians in here that I could talk to?
What's wrong with my voice?
Why do they need to be Christians?
Because
What
they are
about
funny.
what about non-Christians? Would you like to talk to a non-Christian?
And any other day, not today.
No, not
Are there
today.
any Muslims in the room?
Only on Tuesdays.
There is no Christians here I can talk to.
There are no Christians here. There are only Muslims here.
Are there any Muslims in the room?
Am I a Muslim? Are you a Muslim?
Is anybody Muslim? Are there any Muslims in the room?
Bruh.
Yeah, I can be a Muslim.
Dang, bro.
Can you be a Christian?
Bro.
Are we all Muslims?
Can we just become a Christian right now?
I was looking for some Christians so I can enjoy
I was looking for
myself.
some Christian. I was looking for some Christian poontang. I was trying to get up here and hook up with some Christian. Come on now.
No, that's not why I'm looking for them. I'm trying to talk to Christians because they are funny and make me
Not
laugh.
why I'm on here. No, they make me laugh.
Is this guy stupid or something?
Why don't you answer any questions? I asked you, are you Muslim?
What is with this guy right now? This guy right here. This guy right now. What is going on with him? Is he stupid or what?
What's your name? Abu, are you Muslim? Yes or no?
I don't answer questions.
Why not? You don't answer questions.
For me, I believe that FBI are not made to.
For me, I'm only on here. I ask the questions. For me, I come on here. I'm only looking for Christian poontang.
Gross.
If he's Muslim, he's only looking for like 9-year-old Poontang.
And that's how you
No
get the
9-year-olds in
herpes.
here, bro.
She said she was a virgin, but I got herpes. How did that happen?
Well, how about that? You gotta love the weird, creepy laugh. It's in Christian poontang.
It's just like fucking comic book villain.
Did you guys know that if you're a woman and you shape your eyebrows in Islam, you're cursed by God forever?
Oh, shit.
For like
Yes,
having
it
shitty
does.
eyebrows?
It does fuck up your eyebrows, so like that just might be literal.
That's funny, Kat.
I'm laughing. Yeah.
You can always just shave
Yeah, if you
off
do anything to
your arm.
shape your face or do anything to your face, then Allah curses you for it.
Even makeup? Like putting on makeup?
No, makeup's fine.
Oh, okay.
I mean, let's be honest. Everybody looks terrible with shaved eyebrows.
Yeah, they do. Yes, see.
There is no Christian here I can talk to.
Why do you want to talk to a Christian, dude?
Because
There's
they
no
make me
Christian
laugh and they are funny.
They make me
Okay,
laugh.
okay, what makes Christianity funny? I think Islam is funny.
But there is nothing that's as close
There's
funny
nothing.
as Christianity.
No, there's nothing funny about Islam, not even one bit.
I mean, a dude flying on a Pegasus to the moon, splitting it in half, and then gluing it back together is pretty funny.
That's pretty damn funny.
Sounds very gay. Sounds very gay to me.
We're stealing a young girl from playing toys to having sex. That's not sick. But
Well, the Christians do that too. Let's not.
True.
Get ourselves.
We don't want to.
And the Jews also do some shit like that too. Let's not. None of the Abrahamics are very good when it comes to childcare.
Yeah.
No, you're not doing it right. You have to now.
Here, bro. Come on, I need to talk to
bro.
Christians.
I need to talk to Christians, bro. You guys are not doing it right. You have to do the evil laugh.
Could you imagine if OSHA was around when these religions were put together? Like fucking violations left and right.
No shit.
You get a violation. OSHA violation for you.
So Abu, I'm presuming you're a God believer, right, Abu?
Not ask. I do not answer questions.
I do not. I plead the fifth. Abu.
Looking for a Christian that I can talk to.
Well, there's no Christian in here.
Is there a man to kiss and hug in here?
A man to kiss and hug.
Abu was the name of the monkey in Aladdin, by the way.
Has anybody seen Mike Hunt? Mike Hunt? I'm looking for Mike Hunt. Anybody seen Mike Hunt?
I mean, when you rewatch Aladdin, it's just like, holy fuck, it's so racist.
Oh yeah.
But Robin Williams is just chef's kiss.
He's awesome.
So there was a dispute.
I like that. It actually was good.
Supposedly, they were going to hire. They wanted to hire him or they did hire him for Ferngully, and Disney was pissed because like he voiced He voiced one of the characters in Ferngully.
Dueling Studios.
Right.
So I can laugh at. I probably have to look somewhere else.
Yeah, go to a Christian room, Abu. Go to a Christian room.
The thing is, they always kick me out and they don't talk to me.
Oh, I wonder why, Abu. I wonder why.
Go ahead on Andrew, dude.
Actually, I tell you why. Because they learned from Jesus Christ whenever someone asks you a question you cannot answer, to be a bully and aggressive and...
Well, you don't want to answer... Wait. You're being a bit hypocritical, right? You don't want to answer questions, but yet you want to ask? Yeah, and you're talking... And why you... Hey, Abu, silence! I tell you! Silence! Thank you, Abu, thank you. I appreciate you very much now. So, you're being very hypocritical. You understand me now, right? You want questions answered, yes? From the Christians. So you can fucking laugh.
That's almost like a Fu Manchu, JCC.
Yeah, sorry. But yet you don't want to answer questions.
He's the stereotype, right?
So you go off the hypocritical train of hypocrisy there, Abu.
It's a very smart position to take. I mean, you couldn't corner him until now. So,
See, he gets it right. He has the evil laugh down very well. Try to laugh for us. Try to laugh for us.
I'm looking for Christians. They are very funny.
This is what is it? It almost sounds like what was Sasha and Bowen, Karen Bowen, whatever his name is.
Bowen, Shasta
Yeah, Shasta Baron Cohen. Yeah, I know the actor. He's very funny.
Yes, I know him very well. I tell you something.
Motherfucker, let me talk a little bit. When you talk to me and ask me a question, I say I do not want to answer. I don't know like Jesus.
A fucking question there, motherfucker. Lord, motherfucker.
Shouldn't you be proud of your belief in your faith there, Abu?
I don't know if I'd be. I mean, Muhammad bought and sold black slaves. He sold 2 black slaves for the, or 2 or 3 black slaves for the price of 1 white one.
Uh-oh.
He was racist as fuck.
Is that why they cover their faces?
Okay, can I talk?
The other thing, I don't know if you guys know this, that Shaitan sleeps in the nose of Muslims every night. So that's why they get up in the morning and they
have to do the
wash out their nose because Shaitan has been sleeping in there all night long. So they got to get up,
and clean out their noses to make sure that he didn't like shit in their nose or something like that, or leave a dirty mess. They're fine with him sleeping in there. They just want to make sure that once he gets out, that they tidy up apparently he never tidies up the room. He leaves by the time they wake up, but they're like, God damn, I gotta clean up the room again. You know, he's like a really bad guest that comes over and never like strips the sheets or anything like that. So you just every morning you gotta get up and deal with Shaitan's mess.
Why don't they sleep with a face cover on to prevent Shaitan getting in there?
It doesn't matter apparently.
Tim, thanks for that. I always knew boogers were evil.
That's right.
Well, actually, mucus is a good thing. It keeps from bacteria getting further into your system, so it's a good thing.
I have a question. You know, where can I find Christians?
We don't do questions. Remember, just like you don't answer, we don't answer.
Yes, but
No. It's what's good for the goose is good for the gander, my friend. If you don't answer a question, we're not answering.
نحن الأعلون.
ولا خلي المرأة الشيطان.
ولا تهنوا ولا تكنوا وأنتم الأعلون إن كنتم مؤمنين.
حبيبي.
Nothing right, Tony, you don't. You must leave now.
I will just
Wallahi,
some blueberries.
Wallahi, I'm gonna kick your face in. Wallahi.
A'udhu billahi.
No more slushy for you. You got to go now.
That's not slushy.
I don't answer questions. I just want everybody to answer my questions.
Yes, because I'm
a little bitch. I live in Saudi Arabia. I'm a little bitch.
I don't live in Saudi Arabia. I live in the United States.
Too bad.
Why? Oh yeah,
Too bad for us to have a bunch of fucking losers in the States.
Too bad for me. I live there, but one day I'll leave very soon.
Yeah, hopefully go back to your, go somewhere there's some Sharia law, and you can take sex slaves, and you can practice slavery again, and you can cover the women in dark sacks. You can make them eat in another room so nobody else sees their face when you invite your guests over to your house. You know, that'll be great.
I don't answer questions.
And then you can have your wife suckle other men to make them feel welcome.
You gotta wipe with the right hand only. Use stones that are laying out to wipe with.
You use date palm leaves.
Keep talking, entertain me. Keep entertaining me. You're very funny. Keep entertaining me, you crazy motherfuckers. Come on, guys, I'm bored. Keep talking.
Allah is make-believe. Allah is a fictional character. Muhammad is a pedophile.
Are you stop talking? I want you to keep talking because I enjoy watching you. You make me laugh.
Muslims are clowns.
And in the clowns, those happy, dashy clowns.
Is this the worst you can say?
Is that the worst you can say? Muhammad was gay. He sucks the little penises of little boys. every day. He was in a cave with 3 little boys. It wasn't Jabril. It was his imagination high on mushrooms when he wrote the Quran.
Isn't that what the villain always asks, or or no, it's not the villain, it's this hero in the story. Is that the best you've got for me?
Exactly. Is that all you got?
All you got.
And story about the Alzoots?
You also started to admire me. You will admire me much more once you get to know me.
Totally.
But here, I'm here only
JCC,
to
do you know the Alzoots? Do you know the Alzoot story?
No, I don't. I don't know that one.
Okay, so there were a group that were called the Alzoot, and they were like really tall, lean, muscular black men with huge penises. And one night, Muhammad takes, I think it's Ibn Masud. I'm pretty sure Ibn Masud was one of his companions, one of his trusted companions. I believe it was Ibn Masud, but I may be wrong. He's called it goes out in the desert one night with Ibn, I think it's Ibn Masud, but let's just say it's Ibn Masud. And he goes out in the desert and he meets up there. He tells Ibn Masud, like, sit here, and he draws like a circle, like a line, and says, don't come over this line, right? And then Muhammad walks over, and there's like a whole bunch of these Alzoot, and they mount him all night long. And Ibn Masud just has to sit there, and they mount him. And then in the wee morning, Muhammad comes back and lays down and falls asleep in Ibn Masud's lap because they just ravaged him all night long. And it's a Sahih, authentic, narrated hadith. It's crazy. So apparently, Muhammad liked getting pile driven by black lean men all night long. It was a really weird thing to do. And first, the funny thing is when somebody finally discovered this, like a year ago, this story, the Muslims tried so hard to like discredit it, but the chain was so like well attested to. They don't have an answer for it. They have no answer for it at all. They just try to say that the word mount doesn't mean mount.
Interesting.
And, but it's like, what was he doing in the desert all night long? He comes back and he's hurt and he was all tired. He was all worn out and he falls asleep in Ibn Masud's lap. And it's just like the weirdest thing. Like the hadith are so crazy, dude. There is weird ass story after weird ass story about the hadiths about stuff that Muhammad did or said or whatever. One time Aisha was, she had all her friends, her women friends, and one of her women friends comes to her and she had been beaten that she had turned green. They had beaten her so hard that they had turned green, and she wanted to divorce her husband. So Aisha thought, well, surely, I can appeal to Muhammad and Muhammad will allow them to divorce. And so she appeals to Muhammad, what happened is she wanted to go back to her first husband.
I remember that story, yeah.
So they want to do that, and then he tells her, no, you got to go back to your current husband. You got to let him hit it again. You got to let him, get a taste of it, and then you can go back to your ex.
Okay, this is the worst you can say?
Well, you're not even letting us.
They're the worst you've got.
But hang on. Why are you asking us that question? It's irrelevant to you because you're not identifying as a Muslim. So.
But some of you here are actually Muslims, and I know it's one.
Okay, who's a Muslim here?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Not gonna tell you.
It's me.
Oh my goodness! I got something you don't know. Oh my goodness! I'm not gonna tell you. What are you, 5?
Muhammad likes the young ones anyway, right?
There you go. So 5's a good thing.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out who the Muslim is. It's got to be JCC, right?
Damn scary.
The FBI is just so fucking stupid.
Did he move himself down?
You had to, because it's a hand-raising free zone.
That's one way to not have to answer questions.
Good move.
He's a little runaway.
Yeah, so anyway, I'll just finish that story up. So Muhammad tells the girl that they'd been beating shit out of her. He says, well, you can go marry your ex-husband, but you gotta go back, and you gotta go back to your current husband that just beat the shit out of you, and you gotta let him fuck you. So that way the guy feels like you got some recompense for letting you leave. So that's the kind of moral ethical stance that Muhammad used to take.
That's just so bizarre.
The weird thing about it is, JCC, other religions or other people, they have accusations made about them. They'll say here's a story about you, and then another religion will say, well, where does that information come from? And you'll say, well, somebody who's not a Mormon or an ex-Mormon said it about you, right? And the Mormon's like, well, I don't have to take that because he's an ex-Mormon or he's disgruntled or whatever. But these reports are from the Hadith. They're actually from believers, telling these stories about what was going down. And so it's really strange because it's hard for them to it becomes infinitely more difficult to dismiss them or say something about them because they're authentic within their own paradigm.
Yeah, they're more valid, yep.
You'll also hear him say this, JCC. You'll hear him say stuff like, well, I only believe in one God, and God, they talk about punishing. You have to, Jesus can't die for your sins. You have to pay for your own sins. You know what I mean? And for you and I, JC, that actually kind of makes sense, right? We would say well, sure, yeah, your moral responsibility can't be given to somebody else. Whatever you've done is you, on you. And we would agree with that. I'm sure you would. I would, right? That seems like a feather in the cap for the Muslim, right?
Right.
But it turns out there's just a little inconvenience about that, right? Because it says in Sahih Muslim, one of the most authentic hadiths, it says that on the day of judgment, so the Muslim believes there's going to be a day of judgment, and everybody's going to go on that day, and they're going to stand before Allah, and He's going to judge them for their good and bad deeds, right? He's going to weigh the scales of justice, right? But it turns out, it says on the day of judgment, there will come to Allah believing Muslims who have sins as large as mountains, right? And He says, but Allah will put a Jew and a Christian in hell in their stead. So they will get off scot-free from their giant sins because the Christians and the Muslims will be, or the Christians and the Jews will be going on their behalf, which just completely derails this argument that they have that everybody has to be responsible for their own sins.
How'd you find that?
You just look it up.
Wow.
I think it's like 20, it might be 2767 monocytic Muslim, but you can look it up.
Good for you.
What's interesting too is they'll say, well, it's no big deal because the Jews and the Christians were already going anyways. They're already going to be there, so what's the big deal if you put them on there? I'm like, well, why is that an argument? So you do agree then that other people can suffer on your behalf for the sins that you've done, right? But which is really interesting because at least in Christianity, they say something like, the one person that suffered on your behalf is the only sinless. He's sinless. He was perfect. So he suffered on your behalf. He is not suffering, because he's got his own sins and he's just going to pile more on his back for you. Right. So.
Yeah.
Anyways. So.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing that. That's good.
No worries. I actually know quite a bit about Islam. By the way, a couple weeks ago, you were talking to somebody and you rendered an argument from parsimony. And I thought, I didn't get to tell you, but I thought you did a really good job. Your rendering of it was good.
Thank you.
I want to make sure you knew that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
We'd expect nothing less from you, JCC.
Well, it can be a difficult argument to explain, right? One thing you might be able to add to it is that, like, anytime you have you have two explanations that are two different lines. Like, for instance, if you can explain something naturally, then it doesn't need then there's no reason to pile on a metaphysical explanation to it as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that.
Right?
Yeah,
Because in the principle of parsimony, right, you don't need multiple lines of explanation modalities. You don't need, like, physical, non-logical, metaphysical, logical. You don't need all those modalities. You just, the less number of modalities you have, the better. So if something gets fully explained in a physical manner, then there's no reason to further posit a metaphysical explanation on top of it.
Good point. Thank you.
Does anybody know who owns the atheist?
The atheist what?
Atheist versus Christians room? Is that Elliot?
Oh, I think that might be Godless, actually. The house, Atheist versus Christian.
Yeah.
It was a house that was like very active when she was on here a lot, and then when she left, took a hiatus, it went inactive, and now she's back. She reinvigorated it.
That might be.
Barth has blocked me from the ability to join the other one, Atheist versus Theist. I think he.
You want me to ask him then?
I don't know if he can allow me to rejoin it. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think it's Godless Girl has the atheism versus Christianity, and the other one is Barth's.
reason I bring that up is, like, I got modded in that room, and I don't know who modded me. But we were in there for a long time, hanging out, whatever. And Andrew comes in and completely takes the room over, and then moves me to the audience.
Oh, that's not cool.
I know, he's a dick.
Wow.
I just like to make sure that through before I give him a bunch of shit about it, because I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Like, how disrespectful is that when somebody mods you in a room, and then you take over and remake the room in your way? I don't know. He's a dick. We knew that, though, already.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Alright, I gotta go to work. I'll see you around the house.
Later, Jefferson. I'll make with all. Elliot! I'm about to end this room. Unless you want to come up and say something, Elliot. This room's dying.
Oh, did you just make it, or?
No, it was a Mark room. Mark left and passed mods to a bunch of people, and I'm the last standing one.
I guess it's just that time of day, you know, if we're.
Yeah. Yep. Dinner time, family time. Yep. Alright, I think I'll kill this room. See you guys around.
See ya.
Peace out.
So it wasn't like I'm not doxing her. Like she already did it herself. But I'll send it to you.
Hi, JCC.
Regardless.
Rubius was just